Go on, lads. Take notes.
This is tough. He's a real dad, very busy businessman, real life pressures, and throughout the course of this journey, he lost a load of weight and he built muscle, completely changing his physique and his mindset. But this wasn't a quick fix, and it wasn't done in the perfect conditions either. He had a lot going on in his life, and he'd already failed at getting lean multiple times, but I'll let Tough explain that himself.
When I decided to sort of go ahead with the transformation, there was a lot going on. Essentially, I was working 2 jobs. Baby was on the way. Ramadan was coming up as well. I was probably at one of the heaviest points. So the thing with me is I fluctuated quite a bit. What I used to do was, if I sort of got serious and locked in, day one, I would start with a really aggressive cut. It just wasn't sustainable. It wasn't enjoyable. And all it takes is 1 week off, where you probably go on a holiday or something happens. There's always like a family event, and it's near enough impossible to get back to that.
When Tough came to me, he was overweight. He weighed 77.5 kg, he had a big bloated belly, digestion issues, didn't like how he looked in the mirror, didn't have high confidence. But he came to me saying, Max, I want to sort my life out, and if I can do it with all these obstacles in the way, I can 100% do anything I put my mind to. But in the past, he was stuck because he kept yo-yo dieting, going too strict, and then just basically falling off. And the plan was to finally get in shape. Now, as a coach, I always figure out the approach to take with every single client. Everyone has different lifestyles. Everyone has different obstacles to take. So for Tough, I didn't want to rush the fat loss. I wanted to give him a simple, structured routine that he could stick to without burning out, whilst upholding all of his responsibilities that he had on his plate. So we started very simple. 2,000 calorie diet, where it was high in protein. He had 4 meals in the day, protein evenly spread out. He had foods that he liked, foods that were also filling. There was no aggressive deficits, no extremes. For activity, we didn't guess. So what I got was his average steps that he did before coming to me, which was about 6,000. We then gave him an initial step target of 8,000 steps. Very simple, very easy to do. So training wise, we did 3 full body weight training sessions a week. That's it. You don't have to weight train 6 times a week to achieve a physique transformation. The goal with the weight training is to build muscle. So we have to focus on progressive overload. That is a must. So with the foundation set, we kept an eye on weight daily. As long as that was trending down on a weekly basis, we don't need to make any adjustments to the plan. And this journey went through Ramadan. So what did we do for Ramadan? We changed the 4 meals into 3 meals to suit the fasting window. We then kept weight training in the morning. So he'd have his first meal and then train after in the morning. So he was full, had energy, was still able to perform in the gym. In terms of training in Ramadan, all we did was take off 1 working set. So we had 2 very hard working sets. And then we just had longer rest periods. This way we still progressed in Ramadan in terms of weight training and in terms of his weight actually going down. Ramadan didn't slow things down. It just proves that the system that we set up was perfect. This structure and routine worked straight away. He was dropping weight, he was feeling good, was getting stronger in the gym, and we didn't change anything. However, when the weight loss did slow down, we didn't touch food. The first thing I like to change is output. So we increased his steps by 2,000 and then we implemented cardio. 3 cardio sessions a week, 200 calories burned, which works out to about 20 minutes. Then we monitored weight again. And then as long as that kept progressively going down, we didn't change anything. Only when weight loss slowed down, we then subtracted food. So I took out 200 calories from his daily diet. I then increased his step target by another 2,000. And then we increased cardio again from 3 sessions to 6 sessions. These changes are very small, and since he was already doing these, a slight adjustment makes a massive difference. So we kept losing weight again and building muscle. So everything was going really well, and then Tough was blessed with another barrier, we could say.
The date is the 8th of January.
Time? Oh yeah?
10:53 p.m. Approximately 1 month or 1 day before you were born.
He had a newborn child. This would derail a lot of people, but this did not change a thing for Tough. I'll tell you the moment I knew that this was different. He was in the hospital all night, no sleep, delivering a baby, and he came into the gym the next day. This is when I knew this was different. This wasn't just motivation, this was his new identity. So as life changed, the plan adapted. Calories, steps, and cardio were all adjusted throughout to make sure that he was still progressing, But he was also still being a dad, starting his own business, working his job. And then weight training was the same 3 full body weight training sessions a week, focusing on progressive overload. Now heading into the final phase, which is the hardest part. This is when food was at its lowest. He was on 1,500 calories. We actually upped the training from 3 sessions to 4. And then cardio was on an all-time high. So he was doing 15,000 steps a day. He was doing 40 minutes of cardio 6 times a week. And his calories were 1,500. This is when discipline matters the most because motivation is dwindling here. We tighten things up, focus on recovery and execution. The final sessions, the final week. This is where all the work that goes into this really shows. I couldn't be proud of this transformation. Dad, business owner, real life responsibilities, but no excuses. Over this journey, he lost a massive amount of weight, but he also built muscle, completely changing his physique, completely changing his mindset.
Yeah, it's been an amazing journey. It's life changing. It's genuinely it's changed my life. It's changed my mentality. I feel like everything happens for a reason, and it happened at a time where the cards were kind of stacked against me. But I look back at it, and I've said this to you even right from the beginning. I thought, when I started on this journey, everyone was like, well, why are you choosing this time, and why you've got this problem, you've got that problem, you've got this issue, you've got that issue. And the way I looked at it was, well, if I'm starting at a time where I've got this issue, I've got that issue, I've got this problem, and I can do it with them problems, it's only going to get easier. Because when I don't have them problems, then I've got no excuse.
It just shows if you have the right plan, right structure, right systems in place, you can achieve your own transformation no matter what's going on within your life. If you want help building something like this for yourself, follow the page, reach out. This is how real transformations are achieved. I want you to click here for another video and click here to subscribe as well.